All right. So, our first little interaction with this guy. So, a little bit about his history. I think he's about 13, 14 years old. Arabian horse, ex-endurance, gifted to a young princess. I think she's about 10 or 11 years old. She loves her horse. However, she's found that she's started to get a few problems with him. Um, Problems consist of basically him being very spooky, very reactive, and at the same time, also he's starting to develop this habit of not cantering. So he kind of just takes off in a big trot, or he kicks out at her leg when she asks him for the canter. Sometimes even in the trot, he'll kick out. But I wouldn't say like a dangerous horse from what she said, but something that she'd like me to just work with a little bit. So even though his issues are really under saddle, I mean, you can already tell quite a lot. He's 14 years old, but even just me standing in the round pen, you can see how he is, head held high, trotting like he's the king of the world. Quite a bit. He's a little bit nervous, isn't he? See, I'm not even putting any pressure on him, and he's just prancing around. So, I mean, we've got to start somewhere. I'm not going to throw on a saddle and get on his back and just fix the issues under saddle, because that's not where the problem is. The problem is somewhere in between those two eyes, which is in his brain. So we've got to work with this guy mentally to kind of get him to be two things, basically. One is respectful more than anything, and two is not fearful, so trusting. So we want to try and develop a little bit of respect and a little bit of trust. So how do we develop that respect? Very simply, it's not by tiring him out, it is by gaining control of his feet. So as we've always said before, how do you teach a horse anything? How do you communicate with a horse? It's through pressure, right? So I'm always going to start with the lightest amount of pressure, and then I'm only going to build that pressure up until I get a response that I'm looking for. As soon as I get the response that I'm looking for, that pressure is going to be released, and I'm going to go back to neutral. Okay, so to gain control of his feet means to move him forwards, backwards, left, right, change directions, and stop. And if I do that correctly, you may find that he gets connected to me. He sees me as some kind of a horse leader, and he starts to follow me wherever I go. So anyway, let's not waste too much time, and let's get straight into it. I'll explain more as we go along. So 3 levels of pressure that I'm going to go through with this guy, maybe even 4, is point in the direction that I want him to go. Then I'm going to give him 2 clucks. And then if he doesn't move, I'm going to raise my stick. And if he doesn't move, I'm going to spank the ground. And if he doesn't move, I'm going to move towards him until I actually make contact with him if I have to. But at any stage, if he does take a step to the left or to the right, whichever way I ask him, I'm going to release that pressure. So you can see he's going to the left now. I'm going to start going to the right. So point, release. I did not have to cluck there. And I'm just going to let him go around probably 3 or 4 times. You can see that this guy's got a pretty big trot on him. Pretty being an exaggeration of a big trot, but also very pretty. Look at that head, look at that tail, look at that body. Amazing. Very nice. Very nice gait. I can see that he's got his inside ear hooked onto me, which is a good sign. His eyes are blinking. Good. So now that we've got 3 or 4 circles, I'm going to change directions. The way I'm going to do that is going to step out in front of his nose, and I'm going to go backwards until he turns to face me. Then I'm going to change hands and go the other way. Good boy. There we go. Change hands. So it seems like potentially maybe somebody's done some work with this horse, because, well, it could be a fluke, but potentially somebody's done some work with this horse because he's actually moving quite nicely and listening and very connected, or very attentive to me, which I love. I think that's great. So again, I'm just going to go let him go 3 or 4 circles until I see a little bit of that head dropping. Just let him know that I'm not coming after him, that he's okay trotting. The other thing I've got to keep in mind, he's not my horse. So, and I don't know how much work he's had before, how much work he hasn't, if he's been resting for a while, what his joints are like, what his tendons are like. So I've got to really take it kind of easy. Very nice. Now I'm seeing that head, that poll, that nose bobbing a little bit. Tells me that those muscles are relaxing. I'm going to step out, back. That was brilliant. Ooh. Bit of a snort there. It's one thing I love about the Arabians. Very, very proud animals. And you've really got to be very, I think, pure on the inside when you're working with them. What does that mean? It means that I'm not it means that I'm not really trying to prove anything to him. I'm not coming in to put him right. I'm actually coming in here very respectful of him. You know, this is my intentions on the inside. Very respectful of him. I am coming to help. That's what I'm here to do with this horse. So I don't want his pride to be hurt. I don't want his dignity to be hurt. I don't want him to feel like he's the scum of the earth. So we've got to have the right intention. Good boy. This is beautiful. Very nice. So even though he's quite full of himself at the minute, still that trot's pretty big. I am going to give him every chance possible to do as little as we can with the maximal effect. So here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to step out and I'm going to walk away. So as you can hear him snorting at me there, I'm just going to let him relax a little bit. If he walks away, we'll start the exercise again. If he stands with me, keeps his eyes on me, I'm just going to give him all of that release. So what are we telling him now? I can move you left, I can move you right, I can change your direction, and I can stop you. And then whenever you're giving me 2 eyes and just standing like that, that's going to be the nicest place to be. So where the place where there's no pressure is with you standing still with your eyes towards me. Dropping his head there. Very nice. So I'm just going to test him out. I'm going to walk somewhere and let's see what he does. If he keeps his eyes and head tipped towards me, that's a good sign. If he decides to take off, then we'll start the exercise again, stop him and try to get him back. So I'm just going to move. Good. Give him the best chance of staying with me. And if you can tell already, just after a few minutes worth of work, he's actually standing quite still now instead of just prancing around all over the place. So he wants to go. I'll ask him to go again. Then I'm going to bring him in, and then I'm going to release that pressure. So if he wants to go, he can go. I'm going to make him go. But if he wants to stand, good boy. Good boy. I may just to help him out. You might be a bit confused. There we go. Good boy. Just to help him out, figure this out, I'm going to do a lot more changes of direction now, okay? So I'm going to let him go half a circle. Then we're going to go half a circle. Very nice. We're going to go another half circle until I actually see a bit of a change physiologically with this horse. So what am I looking for? I'm looking for a bit of a slower trot, a little bit of a more relaxed sort of neck. It's hard to explain. It's just something about the horse that shows me that he's relaxing a little bit. Right now he's still a bit prancy. Oh, there we go. I like that little change. Here we go. And I'll keep doing these changes in different parts of the round pen, so he doesn't get stuck to one part. So the next time I'm going to stop him over there. Okay, there we go. Over here. So now we're gaining control all over the round pen. Good boy. Good boy. So now I've got him in a place where we've got full control over his feet. And now here, I'm going to, nope, don't turn away from me. Send him out again. That's very nice. Stand out and walk away. This time I'm going to drop my stick. That's okay. I'm going to drop my stick, and I'm really going to try now to get him just, I think he's a little bit confused as to what's happening here. I'm not out to get him, so I am going to work with him a little bit until I can touch his nose. That's fine. Over there, release that pressure. Go back to him. Step out in front of him. Good boy, release that pressure. No. There, release. Good boy. There we go. You can see we're kind of dancing. I'm trying to match him there. If he moves, I move. Easy. There you go. Good boy. Don't give me your butt. Step out in front of him. Release. Okay, we're going to go back and do a little bit more. So he does strike me as the kind of horse that he hasn't chewed or licked his lips. His jaw is pretty firm. So he does strike me as the type of horse that bottles up everything inside and could potentially explode. Easy. Keep your eyes on me and you're going to relax. Not snorting at me. I'm going to ignore that for now. It's fine by me. So I'm just going to walk around as if I'm looking for some lost keys. Can I find my keys? And the reason I kind of have that little example, which is I stole it from one of the famous horse trainers, is because if you kind of pretend that you're looking for keys, and you actually pretend that you try to pretend that you're looking for keys, you don't really think of the horse. And that's what you want. You want to show him that you're not a predator. You're not out to get him. You're walking in zigzaggy lines. I'm always turning away from him. Oh, couldn't find my keys. I'm just going to stop. Just waving at the beautiful owner. There we go. And this is all part of horse training. Don't even think of it as horse training. Think of it as connecting with horses. Sometimes you got to go fast. Sometimes you've got to go slow. And right now, we do have to go a bit slow. Hey there, bud. Hey there, bud. How are you, bud? Might do something that he doesn't expect, which is walk away from him. And then walk back to him. He's a bit cautious there. Yeah, buddy. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Let him sniff my hand here. And now I'm not going to touch him. I'm going to wait until he gives me a little bit more attention to my hand, and then I'm going to walk away. Let him know that I'm not out to get him. There you go. There you go. There you go. So he's very unsure of me, isn't he? He's got lots of flies. I might just get rid of those flies. Let him know. There we go, bud. Get rid of those flies for you. Might walk away. The reason I walk away at an angle here is to see if he'll follow me with his eyes. There you go. And maybe yield those hindquarters for me. As soon as he's able to cross over those back legs, I know that he's kind of given up his defense a little bit. Okay, as long as his eyes are on me. Why does he give up his defense if he crosses his back legs? Reason being is horses are the most powerful when they've got their legs, back legs spread apart, so that they could rear, buck, charge, do whatever they need to do to protect themselves. If they cross over their back legs, there we go. That was very nice. Release that pressure immediately as soon as he crosses. Let's see what happens on this side. I'm going to push it a little bit. Push my luck a little bit. He may walk off. Chewing and licking now. That's the first time I see him chew and lick. Good boy. Approaching him from the side, very gently. Reach out to touch his face, moving away from me. And guess what? Being next to a human doesn't mean that I'm coming to catch you or do anything with you. Okay, not willing to yield on this side, which is okay by me. He's happier on this side. Good boy. Good boy. Let's get rid of those flies again. Good boy. There we go. There we go. Now that was a change. And that change really came from that first yield of the hindquarters. Good boy. Good boy. So now that we've got that step done, it's not about me showing off or anything. This is about doing the best we can for this horse. So we're going to go away, add a little bit more control now over this horse. Okay. Next thing we need to do is just make sure that he's still connected. Very nice. I'll pull, stop, back up. Good boy. Right. So now that we've got a little bit of that respect, now let's see if we can get a little bit of that trust now. He's breathing heavy. Sorry, bud. Sorry, bud. I didn't mean to. He's breathing heavy. Don't turn towards me. Good boy. I want to touch him with the tools that I used to make him move. Okay, a little bit tense on the butt. Bend his head towards me. Release. Forwards. Touch him. Release. Now as I do this, I'm going to let go of my string. Oops. Good boy. Good boy. Get rid of all the flies for you, bud. There we go. There we go. I think he's got a bit of an issue with his back legs. So it seems anyway. Okay, we're going to try the other side now. Good boy. Release. Speed this up a little bit. Good. I'm going to put the stick away a little bit. Easy, 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 bud. Easy, bud. Use my hands now just to touch him. boy. Moving those hindquarters a little bit. Good boy. Hopefully the more we do this, the lower his head is going to get. Good boy. Good boy. Just relax. Just relax. Still breathing heavy. I still feel like all of that emotion, all of those emotions are stuck on the inside. He doesn't want to let go of them. Whew, flies. Good boy. Just one step. Good boy. Just one step. Good boy. There, that's a good step. Remember, only releasing to something that you want. So, a nice crossover. Very nice. Looking at those back legs. Back right, stepping over, back left. Good boy. Good boy. And that's much better. A lot less defensive there. Good boy. Again. Good boy. Keep my hand up here. There. I just want a couple of those steps. Good boy. Good boy. Well done. Well done. Okay. A little bit of flexing. See if you can figure out how to give with that nose a little bit. Good boy. So a little bit of pressure, a little bit of release. Whenever I feel him getting soft, oh, that was nice, eh? Bending the head and neck always relaxes a horse. Just jiggling, jiggling, jiggling. There we go. There we go. There we go. Good boy. Give me just a little bit. That was very nice. Beautiful. Beautiful. The eyes get to soften just a little bit. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. But the head goes straight back up again. Good boy. There we go. Isn't that nice? Hey, bud? That was nice, wasn't it? Good boy. pressure, release. As soon as I feel like he was giving with his nose, I let go. There, I give back to him. Just holding now. There we go, he gave, I gave back. Good boy. You give, I give. You give, I give. Well done. There we go. You give, I give. That's what I call communication, buddy. Yeah. Very nice. A little bit stiff. Very good. So now we're gonna just make sure that he's all right with ropes. So he's good there. Just trying my best not to smack him with it. Hours worth of rope handling goes a long way here. Sometimes you make a mistake, but you end up smacking them, but you know. Gonna keep going a little bit until I see a little bit of a change in him. Right now he's not even paying attention to it. I just want him to drop his head a little bit or chew and lick his lips. You know, anything, buddy. Show me a little bit of a change in your emotions. Come on, man. Don't worry about that. I'm not gonna hit you. I'm not gonna hit you. There we go. There we go. Good job, buddy. Still a little bit reactive to me moving and things. Let's get rid of this, yeah. Yeah, the neck has gone up again. I'm a bit worried about something, isn't he? There we go. Good. Good job, buddy. Definitely touchy on those back legs. And I'm probably not going to go for a full session on those back legs today, because I don't want this to be too much. Whenever I start something, I want to make sure that I've got a fail-safe method of getting through to the end. And right now we haven't really worked him so hard. It's just a get to know you session. Let him know that I'm not out to get him. Let him know that I understand what he's going through. And how do I do that? Through his own method of communication, right? Yeah, but there we go, but never gonna hurt you. That is not my intention here. And notice how I'm always kind of going to the withers area. Hopefully this is, where he enjoys it the most. This is where horses, when they meet up and they stand side to side, in opposite directions and nibble each other's withers, because it's a difficult place to get to. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Right. Gonna send him for a little bit of a lunging session. Let's see how he does with that. Nope, don't come forwards. There we go. There we go. Nice and easy. Nice and easy. Good boy. Oh yeah, that was the other thing. I asked the young lady if he knew how to lunge. She said no. He's got issues with that. So it could, again, just the lunging could be confusion. He's never done it before. He hasn't worked at it. Or it could be an issue where he's resisting. There we go. Very nice. Good boy. Not seeing any major issues here. And I honestly can't tell whether that was resistance or confusion. Whether he was trying to figure things out or whether he was trying to face up to me. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt and say that he was confused. Good boy. Good boy. So you can see that those levels of pressure, very consistent, because it would be unfair if, you know, sometimes I raise my stick, sometimes I raise my hand, sometimes I cluck to him, and every time it might mean something, it might not mean something. Sometimes when I'm standing on the ground just throwing the stick and string at him, it means stand still. I needed to be very clear. This, good boy. Good boy. Look at his hindquarters. Very nice. Good boy. No, that's definitely not disrespectful. The reason I know that is because he's willing to move his shoulders out of my way to the side first, then he goes forwards, rather than take a step forwards towards me and then dodge. So this is what I'm looking for here. Does he take the first step side or forwards? Side. Very nice. Good boy. Good boy. But this guy definitely needs to release some of that tension. And the only way we can do that is actually to open him up a little bit and get him to canter. But, you know, if he was my horse, I'd go for it. But he is not my horse. And I need to respect the fact that I don't know much about his history. And I don't want him to be injured. Good boy. Let's keep going now. Nope, that was disrespectful there. Walked into my space, so I added a lot more pressure. Let him know that's definitely not something that we want. Good boy. Get it out the way. There we go. It's amazing the amount of emotions you go through working with these horses as a human, because you've got to have that level of self-protection. At the same time, you want to remain quite neutral with the horse. You don't want to give him energy to feed off of. You want it to be clear at all levels what your intention is. So I'm going to see if we can, good boy, get him to walk here. Good. 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 And the way that I'm going to do that is I'm going to get him to move out and then yield those hindquarters a little bit. Just bend into that walk. Bend into that walk. Good boy, good boy. Very nice. No trotting. Bend. There. There we go. Good boy. No need to trot. Bend, yield into the walk. There we go. Good boy. Now that's a nice relaxed walk. Yield. Good boy. Yield into that walk. Good job, bud. Now I'm going to speed him up. And then I'm going to yield him back into a walk. There we go. Speed him up. And I'm going to yield him back into the walk. Good boy. There we go. Nope. Yield him into the walk. Good boy. Yield. Go the other way. Same on this side. Let him out a little bit. And then I'm going to focus on those hindquarters. Make sure that we can, there, just push them across. There we go. As soon as he trots, I'm going to walk into those hindquarters and then push again. There we go. Almost. Good job, bud. Good job, bud. He's starting to understand that I can gain control of his feet. I haven't hurt him, and I'm not going to hurt him. I can slow him down. I can speed him up. Good boy. Walk. Good boy. Chewing and licking there. Excellent. Let's speed him up now. Good boy. And then let's slow him down again by walking into his hindquarters. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. I like this demeanor a lot more, but still, I know that there's a lot of emotions, a lot of feelings that are being trapped on the inside, and at some point we are going to have to get those out. There we go. Good boy. Good boy. Let's get rid of those flies, shall we? Good boy. No, 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 no. I'm not going to hurt you. I'm not going to hurt you. As soon as he looks at my stick, I'm going to move it away. There we go. Yeah. Okay, he's a bit worried about this stick, so we may risk it a little bit and do a little bit of desensitizing here. Very good. So that I don't have to be so careful with my stick. I can move it around him. Honestly, this guy is not so bad, but he's one of the more difficult horses to work with just because of his personality. He really does have that bottled up emotions, and I can tell that there's an explosion waiting to happen at some point. But I'm not going to push him too hard today. Right, I'm going to end this with a little bit of flexing again, and then helping him understand how to lower that head and neck vertically down after we do a little bit of... Very nice. That is so nice. Good job, bud. Just, I wish you wouldn't snap your head away from me. There. See if you can touch your own belly. Or mine. We all know mine's bigger than yours these days, huh? There we go. Good enough for me. Let's do it on the other side. And then we're going to help him lower his head and neck. I'll show you guys how to do that. And then I'm going to take him for a bit of a walk and shower him, get him to cool off. You can see there's a couple of cuts on his legs. There we go. Okay, so this is how we're going to do the lowering of the head and neck. Very important that I have one hand here. Make sure that he's okay with me touching his ears and between his ears, touching his eyes, his head. Okay, no issues there. Here's my retreat and here's my retreat. Then I'm going to put my fingers right in between his ears and I'm going to sort of make like a claw. Keep my left hand relatively ready to block his head from smashing into me. And then I'm going to tickle the top of his head. As soon as he moves away from that pressure, away, i.e. down, I am going to release my top hand. So he's not thinking, I increase, there we go. And rub. Go back there and rub his head. Just drop it a little bit, please. Tickle, 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 dig, dig, dig. Tickle, 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 dig, 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 dig. There we go, bud. There we go. Relax those ears. Relax those ears. Ready? Just tip his head towards me a little bit. Down, down, down. There we go. Down, there we go. Down, there we go. Gonna go down with him. It's sort of there. Good boy. Nice chewing and licking, huh? Feels good to drop your head, doesn't it? Drop. There we go. Drop. Turn your head towards me a little bit. There we go. And it does help to go down with them because if their head is down and you're all the way on top of them, it gets their defense system back up again. Good boy. No, no, no. Stay down. Stay down. Here there's pressure. Here there's pressure. Here it's, there is nice. Here is pressure. Here is pressure. There is nice. Here is pressure. Here is pressure. There is nice. Here is pressure. There is nice. I'm going to keep my hand on that halter. There is pressure. There is nice. Pressure. There. Just stop taking your head away. Pressure. Pressure. Nice. There we go. Hey, isn't that nice? We can just sit here, relax for a bit. Don't need to have our heads all the way up high all the time now, do we? Down. There. 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 Nope, don't take your head. Down, there, down, there, down, there. And good enough for session number 1. Thanks, buddy. Thanks, buddy. Good job. I'm going to let you go. And you can roll around first. Okay? And then I'll come back and get you in a little bit. So I leave him. Oh, that's beautiful. That is beautiful. See, if I let him go there, with if I untied him and I walked away, sometimes you find that the horse will just take off, spin around and take off without you. But you see here, he's kind of telling me that he's enjoyed and he's connected and that there is some kind of a bond between me and him. because he's willing and wanting, actually, or choosing to come with me and stay with me rather than go off by himself. Thanks for that, buddy, but I'm gonna leave you. I want you to roll, okay? And then I'm gonna come back in 2 minutes and let's go get you showered.